Hello everyone, this is A Skills Games, and today I will be teaching you about perks in zombies. In this tutorial, I will be going from basic things to advanced tips. In the background, I'll be playing some Der Eisendrache First Room. I do this because I can use a Perkaholic Gobblegum and have 9 perks to sort of show you what they look like on the bottom of your screen, and also what they do when they take effect while I'm playing in the game. So let's begin. In zombies, it helps to have some abilities in order to fend off the hordes. This is exactly what a perk does. Now, I'm going to go over all the perks in alphabetical order by telling you the perk name, how much it costs, what it does, and how it might be useful. One thing to remember is that the perk limit in maps is 4 perks. You can get this perk limit up by various ways during a zombies game. You know, in Origins you had the red dig spots to get the perk bottles. In Black Ops 3 Zetsubo, you have the plants. In Der Eisendrache, there actually isn't a way other than Gobblegums. Sorry if I'm missing anything. It's currently only DLC 2 released in Black Ops 3. So there may be some other ways released in the other DLC maps for Black Ops 3. So yeah. The first perk I'd like to talk about is Deadshot, and what Deadshot does is it costs 500 or 1500 points in console games, and in computer games Deadshot costs 1000 points. Now what Deadshot does is Deadshot basically allows you to auto aim at the head of a zombie. So on consoles I might be aiming to the right of the zombie, but when I aim in, it aims towards the body. And so on console, when it auto aims in towards the body of the zombie, it makes it a little bit easier to shoot. But when you have Deadshot, it'll auto aim towards the head instead of the body, and shooting zombies in the head does more damage. The only thing is, on PC, the Deadshot effect where you aim towards the head from auto aim doesn't work, because on PC there is no auto aim. So that's why on PC it only costs 1000 points. So there are some other effects that Deadshot has. One of them is that while you have Deadshot, your weapon sway is a little bit lighter. This is definitely a very minor effect. You know, when I'm looking down this MR6 site, the weapon sway basically isn't there. So it's not very noticeable, but that is one of its effects. And also, while you have Deadshot, your hip fire sort of range is shortened. You can see in the middle of my screen I have 4 little lines. That's my hip fire area, and any bullets that I fire could go in that area. When you have Deadshot, this is made smaller, so you're more accurate. So Double Tap 1.0. Double Tap 1.0, all it does is it makes you shoot faster. It costs 2000 points, and it's only available up till Black Ops 1, and this is basically because so when in Black Ops 1 and in World at War you would get Double Tap, all it would make you do is shoot faster, which means that you would basically be wasting ammo. You know, it did make it so you could kill the zombies faster, but really you were only wasting ammo. So people didn't really like getting Double Tap 1.0, Double Tap 1.0, people didn't like it that much. And that's why Treyarch made Double Tap 2.0, which is available in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. And what Double Tap 2.0 does is it still makes you shoot faster, but it also doubles the damage of bullet weapons, and it does this by splitting the bullets in order for it to deal double the damage. So every bullet splits into 2, and because of that, double the damage. That's Double Tap 2.0, and it's also 2000 points. So after Double Tap 2.0 is Electric Cherry. What Electric Cherry does is when you're reloading, it emits a little electric field around you so that you'll be more safe while reloading. I particularly like Electric Cherry while in a camping spot, because you are vulnerable while reloading in a camping spot, whereas if you're training, you can just train and reload, so it's not that big of a problem. But electric cherry is always useful. Electric cherry also, when you down, puts a electric field around you and sort of stuns the zombies for a little bit after you down. And so this actually sometimes has a negative effect. If you're going for extremely high rounds, the zombies won't get as far from you when you're down, and it could make it harder to get away and get your perks back and all that. So some good effects. Some people don't like it, but it in general is a good perk, and always useful. And electric cherry costs 2,000 points. Now the next perk we'll be talking about is Juggernog. Good old Juggernog. Everybody likes Juggernog. So Juggernog costs 2,500 points, and what it does is it gives you more health. Traditionally in zombies, you'll be able to take 2 hits from a normal zombie and then you'll down. In Black Ops 3, this is 3 hits. But regardless, Juggernog gives you a substantial more amount of health. And so when you have more health, it's easier to not die, which is the main goal of zombies, and so it's obviously useful in this way. Not much more to say about Juggernog, but it's usually the first perk gotten by people. And moving on to the next one. Next after Juggernog is Mule Kick. So what Mule Kick does is Mule Kick allows you to carry 3 weapons. I like this one camping, usually. The one map I do really like this on is Der Eisendrache. It's also pretty useful on Zetsubo, but I haven't really played that yet very much. Even though it's out, I just personally like Der Eisendrache more. So it's useful for high rounds a lot of the times, but a lot of people don't like it because when training around, you usually have a weapon to kill the zombies and a weapon to get you out of traps. At least that's usually how I like to format my weapons. So there's one weapon to save your life in case you get into a bad situation, and one weapon to sort of kill the zombies once you've rounded them up. So, Mule Kick, when you have 3 weapons, sometimes it's harder to change into that weapon that can get you out of that bad situation, and it can be the reason you die because you don't always remember the order of your weapons in that split second that you could die. So some people don't like it for that. So next perk, PhD Flopper. Before I move on, I'm gonna list off the perks I have in the bottom left of my screen from left to right. First one being Quick Revive, second one being Mule Kick, which gives you 3 weapons, third one being Deadshot, which was the first one I covered, has some various effects, next being Double Tap, and then Electric Cherry, and you can see Electric Cherry right there, and again here puts that electric field around me. After that Juggernog, after that Stamina Up, then Speed Cola, and then Widow's Wine. And so we'll go over all of those, don't worry if you haven't heard them yet. But I just wanted to sort of tell those while I had them on my screen. Next is PhD Flopper. PhD Flopper is only available in Black Ops 1, and this is sort of considered because it's a little bit overpowered. But a lot of people want it to return. It costs 2,000 points, and basically what it does is it makes it so you don't take any explosive damage. So if you fire maybe a rocket launcher or throw a grenade near you, you won't get hurt from it if it explodes near you. And that's what PhD Flopper does. That's its main effect. But it also makes it so you can jump off high distances and not get damaged. So if I jump maybe off a big ledge and land 100 feet down, but I have PhD, I won't take damage. And even more than this, if I dolphin dive, which is only available up till Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3 you slide, a dolphin dive, if you dolphin dive off a surface higher onto lower ground, you'll create an explosion that'll basically kill all zombies near you up till maybe mid-round 20s. I just remembered PhD is actually available in Origins, as long as Mob of the Dead Grief, but we don't talk about that. And the perk in Buried, if you want to call it. But for the most part, it isn't really available in its full strength, except for Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 Origins, it was sort of nerfed with its explosive effect. It didn't really take the form of a real perk. In Buried and in Mob of the Dead Grief mode, that wasn't an official map. So it's been elusive, but PhD, 2,000 points, no explosive damage, and a couple other things. Let's move on to the next one. Next after PhD is Quick Revive. Now Quick Revive is on the bottom left of my screen, the perk all the way to the left. It's blue. And what Quick Revive does is if you go down, so you get surrounded by zombies, get hit a couple too many times, and you go down, Quick Revive will let you get another life. Quick Revive costs 1,500 points in co-op, and in co-op it allows you to revive your teammates faster, and in solo it costs 500. This isn't counting World at War, because in World at War Quick Revive actually didn't have its extra life effect. It was only useful in co-op. But yeah, basically it just gives you extra lives. But don't go thinking you're immortal and you can go down anytime you want, because there is actually only a limited amount of times you can buy Quick Revive. So once you've bought Quick Revive 3 times, it flies away and you can't get it again, except from the Wonder Fizz in Origins and Dreisendrach, but that's extremely rare. So next, after Quick Revive, is Speed Cola. Speed Cola, you can see it almost all the way to the right on the bottom left of my screen. Speed Cola allows you to reload in half the speed. Again, this is one of those perks that I like for camping. Because if you're camping, you reload at half the speed, and boom, you can keeping the zombies away from you, which is what you do in camping. In training, you can just train around some more if it takes time to reload. This being said, even in the games where I train, I noticed that Speed Cola, the games where I play with it compared to without it, I do substantially better. So Speed Cola, even though it statistically shouldn't help you with training, it really does, at least for me. So Speed Cola has a couple more effects. In World at War, it actually allowed you to run faster, but that's only in World at War, not Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, or Black Ops 3. It allowed you to run 2% faster. And in World at War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 3, but not Black Ops 2, Speed Cola also allowed you to rebuild barriers faster. So a couple of small effects there, but mainly it just makes it so you can reload faster. And Speed Cola costs 3,000 points. After Speed Cola is Stamina Up. That's the little yellowish perk you see on the bottom left, and it shows kind of a person running. What Stamina Up does is it allows you to run faster, and it allows you to run longer. So I personally like Stamina Up when training. Any high round game, I usually pick up Stamina Up, because training is usually the high round thing that you do for maps. So one of my favorites is 2,000 points, makes you run faster and longer, and that's Stamina Up. Next is Tombstone. Tombstone, what Tombstone does is if you go down, this is only available in public matches, by the way, in Tombstone. If you go down, it allows you to, quote, feed the zombies, and basically you die out, and a tombstone power-up is left behind where you died. Now, if you collect that power-up, when you spawn in the next round, you'll keep all your perks and the weapons that you had before, except you won't get your tombstone perk. So that's Tombstone. So Tombstone is 2,000 points, and it's highly unfavored by the community because in co-op, teammates usually like you to help them. They want to revive you so you can help them finish out the round. you know, in case they go down, then you can be there to revive them. But Tombstone basically makes it so you can die out, basically, so you can just save some money. And most players don't like that unless you're continuously going down. And even then, you probably won't even have the money for Tombstone, so I don't really understand it. But regardless, it's 2,000 points, that's its effect. Moving on to the next perk. Next perk is Vulture Aid. Vulture Aid, what it does, it has various effects, but its main effect is it allows you to see everything on the map. Going down right there. Vulture Aid. If you have Vulture Aid and there's a box across a wall, you'll be able to see the box icon through that wall. The same goes for wall weapon locations, perks, some other things, and that's what Vulture Aid does. It's really good if you're learning a new map. So Vulture Aid also creates a green mist in some zombies, where if you stand in that green mist, the zombies won't be attracted to try and kill you, which is obviously useful because you don't want to get hit by zombies. That's one of the main goals of the game, and that green mist helps you do that. And the last effect of Vulture Aid is when you kill some zombies with Vulture Aid. Oh, died there. Oh. When you kill some zombies with Vulture Aid, what it does sometimes is those zombies drop money packs and ammo packs. So you can pick those up, get more ammo, get more money, and that's also useful. Next perk, there are a lot of them, I know. Who's Who. Oh, by the way, Vulture Aid costs 3,000 points. Next perk, Who's Who. Who's Who costs 2,000 points. And if you go down, it allows you to sort of create a clone of yourself and revive yourself. This, I said allows you to, but it isn't optional. If you go down, even if you have quick revive, you'll automatically go into that clone state. I don't really like this because if you go down in that clone state, you're dead, it's game over. Even if you had quick revive. So the only time I'd use this is if I run out of quick revives and it's sort of a backup plan. But really, it's not one of my favorite perks, but it's useful at times. And Who's Who, if I didn't say it, is 2,000 points. Only available on Die Rise. Widow's Wine, getting into the last two. Widow's Wine appeared in Black Ops 3, and what it does, if you get hit by a zombie, Widow's Wine will sort of create a web around you, and it will encase those zombies in those webs, and when they're encased in those webs, it's harder for them to hit you. So Widow's Wine is sort of a way to avoid getting hit more by zombies. Some people even like it more than Jug. And it offers sort of a safety blanket, if you will. Widow's Wine, you can run out of it. You can hold a max of 4 Widow's Wine grenades, which are those things that explode with webs around you when you get hit. And you can regenerate those Widow's Wine grenades in various ways, but they can run out. And it's a good safety blanket perk, and it costs 4,000 points. The last perk, the Wonder Fizz, costs 1,500 points, and the Wonder Fizz is like the mystery box except for perks. What the Wonder Fizz does is it sorry, the Wonder Fizz, you'll spin it for 1,500 points. It'll give you a random perk, and then you can take it or not. You can spin it again and get teddy bears like the box. But Wonder Fizz is specifically useful because sometimes perks aren't on the map but are in the Wonder Fizz. And maybe you think you'll get a perk for cheaper from the Wonder Fizz. For example, Speed Cola is 3,000, Wonder Fizz is 1,500. Maybe you'll think you'll get Speed Cola on the first hit. It's a good thing for challenges as well, the Wonder Fizz only challenge. And it can sometimes get you quick revives, but that's the Wonder Fizz. And that is the last perk on our list. That is the W. we went in alphabetical order. So tell me if you think I missed any perks. I didn't include perm perks in this list, except for that brief mention of PhD. But tell me if there's anything you think I missed. Tell me if you think this guide could have been better, and leave it down in the comments if I helped you. Without further ado, this is Ben Riley.